Today on the Ballhead Podcast, I'm going to talk to you about why I believe the number 4 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide will beat the number 2 ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Stay tuned. When you're looking at the matchup between Alabama and Georgia, this is absolutely going to be the game of the week in college football. Georgia will travel to Bryant-Denny Stadium to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide, which will be a rematch from last year's SEC championship game. And guys, I'm going to say this. The Alabama Crimson Tide will have all the advantages going into this rematch because when you look at it, like I just mentioned, Alabama already beat them last year in the SEC championship game. Also, quarterback Jalen Milroe was the quarterback last year at Alabama. He is also the quarterback this year for Alabama, so that's another slight advantage. Also, the game will be played at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and just overall, Alabama is looking like the much stronger team, especially on offense and especially on defense. Now, there's a few concerning aspects of the game if you're a Georgia Bulldog fan. Number one being is that Kentucky was able to stick with you guys. I mean, Kentucky's defense looked like the Minnesota Vikings defense currently. They were swarming Georgia all night. Georgia barely won that game 13-12. The offense didn't look smooth and fluid. So if you're an Alabama fan and you watch that film, you gotta have a big smile on your face. Also, Georgia will be without their top offensive lineman and Tate Rutledge due to injury. So that's another concerning aspect if you're Georgia. Also, they're going to be on the road versus a team that beat them last year. So you have many components going in Alabama's way. Also, Jalen Milroe is not a running quarterback. He is a true dual threat quarterback. He can beat you with his arm. He can beat you running the ball. Also, Alabama will have a strong offensive line. Also, they have a freshman receiver who is looking like the best receiver in his class. It's debatable between him and Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State, but Ryan Williams has 285 yards so far currently and 4 touchdowns. Also, Alabama will have a very strong running game headlined by Jalen Milroe and also Justin Hayes. So overall, Alabama is looking like the more complete team in my opinion. We just saw Georgia play Kentucky. We just saw Georgia's offense struggle versus Kentucky. So that is very concerning. Yes, I know they had a bye week. Yes, they're going to make a lot of corrections and try to improve the offense, but quarterback Carson Beck will definitely have a good game in my opinion. I just believe when the rubber needs to meet the road, I trust Jalen Milroe. I trust this Alabama offense a little more than this Georgia's offense. Both of them will have a pretty strong defense. You can give the slight edge to Georgia's defense in my opinion. Headlined by Malachi Starks, headlined by Warren Brinson, so forth and so on. So both of these teams are very complete. Both of these teams are definitely not going to come into this game and lay down. But if I had to put money on this game, I'm going to put my money on Alabama based on the more balanced attack they're going to have on offense, throwing and running the ball. Also, they have a pretty solid defense. Georgia is more of a, I don't want to say a one-dimensional team, but if you sit there and make Carson Beck try to beat you with his arm versus a strong defense like Alabama, I don't believe he can do it. So if Alabama is able to contain ETN and Bronson Robinson, they're going to definitely win this game in my opinion. Look for Jalen Milroe to have a Heisman moment. Roll Tide roll. Put your money on Alabama. You will not be disappointed. This is the Ballhead Podcast, and I am your host, T. Allen, and I'm out. Peace.